there's some validity to this, that on August 7th, Caitlin Clark did something, and we all saw this. I remember watching the game and seeing this in real time. Looks like her left ankle. And so the story makes some sense, but it's like, why are we hearing about this now? When does this happen in sports where someone this valuable suffers an injury and you don't tell people about it until 2 weeks later, once speculation about Caitlin Clark starts running rampant?
Recent developments suggest the 2026 WNBA season faces significant uncertainty as collective bargaining agreement negotiations between the league and Players Association approach a critical deadline. Reports indicate that reaching an accord before the October 31st cutoff appears increasingly doubtful. The situation has emerged from front office sports reporting, later picked up by Legs and Hoops, which highlighted the growing tensions between the WNBA and WNBPA. The inability to finalize terms within the required time frame threatens to create a work stoppage that could eliminate an entire season of play. This timing proves particularly concerning given the league's recent momentum, especially surrounding marquee players like Caitlin Clark, whose return many anticipated.
Running rampant. Once people start finally muster up the courage to say, hey, this is weird. Caitlin Clark has disappeared and vanished. She doesn't talk to reporters. We're getting no legitimate information from anybody in the Indiana Fever organization. This is the biggest star in sports. And other than a Sue Bird podcast, we hear nothing. We can't ask any questions. And so
the potential absence of such talent due to labor disputes could severely impact fan engagement and viewership numbers that had shown promising growth. Satou Sabally recently addressed these negotiations publicly, expressing frustration with what she characterized as inadequate proposals from team ownership. Her comments on social media platform X revealed player dissatisfaction with current compensation structures, particularly when compared to overseas opportunities and alternative leagues like Unrivaled. Sabally's remarks included criticism of the league's scheduling demands, specifically regarding back-to-back games over compressed time frames. She mentioned feeling exhausted after 5 games within 8 days, suggesting that current scheduling practices contribute to player fatigue and potentially impact performance quality.
So, in my view, they've put out some information to throw us off the trail. This is part of the cover-up of like, there's something weird going on with Caitlin Clark. And I'm going to have to give Skip Bayless some credit here. I don't think this is all physical. And let me connect a couple of other dots.
The financial aspects remain contentious, with players arguing they can earn superior compensation through international competition or emerging domestic alternatives. Reports suggest league minimum salary proposals around $250,000 were rejected, with some players reportedly receiving million-dollar offers from competing leagues. This creates a complex dynamic where players seek NBA-level compensation while simultaneously expressing concerns about the physical demands of professional basketball scheduling. The contradiction between salary expectations and willingness to embrace standard professional sports scheduling has drawn criticism from various quarters. Fan reaction appears mixed, with some expressing sympathy for player compensation concerns while others question the timing and approach of these negotiations.
I want to run off the names of just a few highlight examples. It's the female athletes dealing with health issues. You remember Simone Biles, Tokyo Olympics in 2021 due to COVID. Withdrew from the final team event because of pressure. You remember Naomi Osaka, 2021.
Comments across social media platforms reveal frustration with the potential loss of games, particularly given recent increases in league popularity and attendance. The broader implications extend beyond immediate financial considerations. A work stoppage could severely damage momentum the league has built, especially regarding mainstream media coverage and corporate sponsorship interests. Recovery from a lost season historically proves challenging for professional sports organizations. Previous months saw Sabally advocating for roster expansion and increased investment in existing teams, rather than adding new franchises.
You remember Naomi Osaka, 2021 French Open, withdrew because of pressure dealing with media and fan abuse. Do you remember Ronda Rousey? Gets her butt kicked, UFC 193, 2015, admits she was suicidal after losing to Holly Holm. Raven Saunders, shot putter, 2006.
Her position emphasized strengthening current infrastructure before pursuing geographic growth, suggesting players prioritize stability over rapid expansion. The negotiation stalemate reflects deeper structural issues within women's professional basketball. Questions persist regarding revenue generation, sustainable business models, and realistic compensation frameworks given current market conditions and attendance figures. Market realities present significant challenges for meeting player salary demands. Despite recent growth, the WNBA operates differently from established leagues with decades of revenue development and established fan bases.
Raven Saunders, shot putter, 2016 Rio Olympics. Mental health deteriorated, considered suicide. Serena Williams, several occasions, depression, and later post-mortem depression. This is commonplace. I'm not ridiculing, I'm not belittling, I'm throwing it out there for you to consider. These women trying to be men.
The disconnect between aspirational compensation and current financial capabilities creates ongoing tension. International competition has complicated domestic negotiations by providing alternative employment opportunities for elite players. European and Asian leagues often offer competitive packages, giving players leverage in CBA discussions while potentially undermining long-term domestic league development. The absence of key personalities like Clark due to labor disputes could prove catastrophic for maintaining recent fan interest gains. New audiences drawn by individual players may not remain engaged through extended work stoppages, potentially setting back years of progress in building sustainable viewership.
I'm throwing it out there for you to consider. These women trying to be men in sports, trying to deal with all the pressure that comes with carrying a league, negotiations for TV rights, living up to your responsibilities to Nike as a spokesperson, dealing with the social media pushback and feedback and toxicity and negativity that goes along with it. They tap out.
Industry observers suggest that failure to reach agreement could result in more than just a delayed season. Extended lockouts historically damage fan loyalty, sponsor relationships, and media partnerships that take considerable time and resources to rebuild. Some commentary suggests players lack sufficient public support to sustain lengthy work stoppages. Unlike more established leagues with deeper fan loyalty, the WNBA's relatively recent mainstream attention may not withstand extended absences from competition. The situation places enormous pressure on both sides to find compromise solutions before the deadline expires.
They tap out. That's not criticism, that's fact. Men tap out too. But it's going to be more common among women's sports. So we have Caitlin Clark, and I love Caitlin Clark. And I know many of you have this abnormal thing that anything that isn't worship of Caitlin Clark, you hear as criticism of Caitlin Clark. I'm trying to explain.
However, fundamental disagreements over compensation structures, scheduling demands, and league priorities suggest resolution remains challenging. Alternative league development, including unrivaled and international opportunities, provides players with options that didn't exist in previous negotiations. This leverage changes traditional bargaining dynamics and may embolden more aggressive negotiating positions. The timing proves particularly unfortunate given recent positive developments in women's basketball popularity, television coverage, and corporate interest. A work stoppage could interrupt this momentum at a critical growth phase for the sport.
So this story is coming from Legion Hoops, who ultimately got the story from Front Office Sports. So it stated the WNBA and the WNBPA are heading towards a lockout as a collective bargaining agreement is unlikely before their October deadline. Guys, they got to get this CBA deal done by October. And whatever the case is, it don't look like they finna have this thing done by October. This is very, very.
Resolution requires balancing legitimate player concerns about compensation and working conditions with realistic assessments of league financial capabilities and market conditions. Finding this equilibrium before the October deadline remains the primary challenge facing both negotiating parties. Recent developments surrounding Caitlin Clark's absence from public appearances have generated significant speculation about the true nature of her current situation. Official explanations point to physical injuries, including a bone bruise reportedly sustained during competition in early August, but the timing and circumstances of these revelations raise substantial questions. The Indiana Fever organization disclosed the injury information approximately 2 weeks after the initial incident, coinciding with mounting public curiosity about Clark's sudden withdrawal from media obligations and reduced visibility.
By October, this is very, very bad, guys. I mean, this is catastrophic for the season. I just gotta be honest here with you guys. More people need to be reporting on this thing because the way it's looking, this season is about to get put to shreds, bro. It just truly is. I just gotta be honest with you guys. And there's more news coming out too that's pretty much saying that these women don't even want to play.
This delayed communication pattern represents an unusual approach for managing information about such a prominent athlete. Video evidence from August 9th shows an assistant coach accidentally stepping on Clark's ankle during practice, providing some credibility to physical injury claims. However, the coincidental timing of this disclosure, occurring precisely when speculation reached critical levels, suggests possible strategic information management rather than straightforward medical reporting. Professional sports organizations typically maintain transparent communication regarding star player injuries, particularly when those athletes carry significant commercial and competitive value. The extended silence followed by sudden information release deviates from standard industry practices for player health management.
These women don't even want to play back to back. I mean, this was Satou Sabally just went viral the other day. This right here did. It said, I have a feeling this is why the deal wasn't done yet, a slap in the face. So it goes on to say, I could go on a whole rant. This is Satou Sabally talking. Maybe I was just sick and tired after 5 games in 8 days, but I'm not delusional. Here are the odds. And we still make more money at Unrivaled or overseas.
Multiple factors beyond physical wellness may contribute to Clark's current circumstances. The unprecedented pressure accompanying her status as women's basketball's most recognizable figure creates psychological challenges that few athletes have previously navigated. Her position as the sport's primary commercial driver brings responsibilities extending far beyond traditional competitive expectations. Historical precedents exist among female athletes facing similar pressure situations. Simone Biles withdrew from Olympic competition citing mental health concerns in 2021.
Here are the odds. And we still make more money at Unrivaled or overseas, which they want us to stop playing in too. Hashtag pay women. So she basically saying and insinuating that they ain't trying to pay them, right? Basically, the WNBA owners ain't trying to pay them as much as they paying overseas players. But last time I checked, they got offered like $1 million or something, man, I thought. And like cap, and it was, I think the league.
Naomi Osaka stepped away from tennis tournaments due to media-related anxiety. Ronda Rousey experienced severe psychological distress following high-profile losses in mixed martial arts competition. These examples illustrate common patterns among female athletes confronting intense public scrutiny combined with performance expectations. The psychological toll of maintaining elite competitive standards while managing commercial obligations and media responsibilities often exceeds sustainable limits. Clark's unique position as a heterosexual Catholic athlete within a league culture that predominantly celebrates different lifestyle choices may create additional isolation factors.
The league minimum would have been like $250,000, right? And they turned it down. I mean, y'all turned it down. But my thing is, y'all want to get paid, y'all want to be paid, and y'all don't even want to play back-to-backs. From what I heard they bitching about playing back-to-backs. But y'all want to get paid like NBA players. But y'all don't even want to play back-to-back games. This is the stuff we do.
Professional environments where personal values conflict with organizational culture can generate psychological stress independent of competitive pressures. Performance-related psychological patterns have become observable in Clark's playing style during challenging games. When shooting accuracy declines, her decision-making often shifts toward individual scoring attempts rather than team-oriented offensive strategies. This behavior suggests emotional attachment to personal statistical success that extends beyond typical competitive motivation. Teammate dynamics may contribute to psychological pressure as well.
Games. This is the stuff we deal with this league, man, that makes it real hard day in, day out for the casual fan to like this league, guys. We have to look at this. The casual fan does not like this league. And how can we forget about this? This is what I'm talking about right here. Let's play this.
I think we can focus on our players in the union. We got a proposal from
Public statements from other players, while diplomatically phrased, occasionally reveal underlying tensions regarding Clark's shot selection and offensive approach during crucial game moments. These subtle criticisms from peers can amplify psychological stress for athletes already managing external pressures. The commercial environment surrounding Clark's career includes endorsement obligations, with major corporations building marketing campaigns around her signature playing style. When performance elements featured in advertising fail to materialize during competition, it can create psychological pressure to force results rather than allowing natural game flow. Rookie season observations indicated significant emotional management requirements from veteran teammates, particularly regarding Clark's interactions with officials and frustration responses during difficult stretches.
Focus on our players in the union. We got a proposal from the league, which was honestly a slap in the face. And I think we really have to put an emphasis on the players that are in our league right now. But I love to see the league growing. I think, adding these teams in Philly and Detroit, like that's how amazing is that the league can grow, but how cool would it also be to have like a little bit expansion on the rosters? Like, let's focus on the teams that have everything set up right now, and maybe focus on the teams also that find excuses continuously to lack investment into their players.
This pattern suggests underlying psychological challenges that may have intensified rather than improved over time. Social media toxicity represents another significant pressure source for high-profile female athletes. The volume and intensity of negative commentary directed toward prominent women's sports figures often exceeds what their male counterparts experience, creating additional psychological burdens during performance struggles. League dynamics may also contribute to psychological stress through competitive relationships and cultural expectations. When peer acceptance proves elusive due to jealousy or cultural differences, it can create professional isolation that compounds other pressure factors.
Continuously to lack investment into their players before we focus on adding more to the grain of people that can't really be sustained.
So that was Satou Sabally a couple months ago, speaking about this whole CBA deal, man. And my whole thing about it is, man, I understand y'all wanting to get paid. I understand all of that. But y'all got to think about the fans, bro. Like, y'all ain't thinking about the fans. I just got to keep it real. Bro. Y'all thinking about yourselves, bro. Yourselves.
Physical injury claims may serve as convenient explanations for managing psychological wellness needs without acknowledging mental health challenges publicly. Professional sports culture often stigmatizes psychological struggles, making physical explanations more acceptable for explaining player absences. The timing pattern of Clark's reduced public presence coincides with increased speculation about her long-term commitment to professional basketball. These discussions, combined with ongoing competitive challenges, may have created psychological pressure requiring professional intervention or strategic management. Media obligations represent significant psychological stressors for athletes unprepared for constant public scrutiny.